Welcome back to Angels and Bob's Factorio. And it's time to do plastics, I think. Where if you remember last episode, we were working towards the Science Pack 3, which requires batteries, which requires plastics, and it also requires electronic circuit boards, which requires transistors, which requires plastics. We're going to get silicon as well, but that's not important right now. So plastics, what do we have to do to get those? So I had a commenter who correctly said that you can get plastics from green algae. And if we go to algae for a second, if we just go to this recipe, cellulose fiber, you can go through cellulose fiber and you can produce it using one of these recipes. Where are you? Liquid plastic. That requires bioplastics too, which I don't have, and also requires acetic acid and propionic acid. There are other recipes. No, they're the same recipe. And unfortunately, they in turn require green metal catalysts, which require aluminium and silver, which we've not got to yet. So I'm not going to go there just yet. The other two routes that I know of, and it depends on your map which one you go for. You either go via natural gas or you go via multi-phase oil. I will go for... interesting actually. We can go via both, but let's go for multi-phase oil. Natural gas is around here somewhere. I should be right on top of it. There's only 2 patches. It's not great. I assume they're infinite, of course, so I just like multi-phase oil. But if we pop down here to multi-phase oil, I think there are more of these patches around. Let's just take a quick look. Unless I've built over them. Hopefully I haven't. Nope, there's 3. Okay, it's not a great deal more, to be perfectly honest, but at least a little bit more. So we got 2 pump jacks on me, and I'm going to need to remove... What is that in that corner? That's power? There you go. That will do. And put the pump jacks back. And I can make another one. So the plastics chain, no matter which way you go, is fairly complicated. It's about 7 or 8 steps that we've got to go through to get to plastics. Now, I did work out all the actual plastics we'd need, all the actual precursors we'd needed if we wanted like 1 or 2 plastics per second, but it turns into an absolutely huge amount. And by the time you get back to crude oil, which is the first step, I just don't think we have enough to start off with. Yeah, if we don't have enough to start off with, then we'll have to work with balancing it the other way, based on what we've got. Oh, is that not finished yet? Yeah, based on what we've got, we'll try and output. So we'll see how that goes. In this case, we're going to get 37 and 42 per second. So let's just grab that last pump jack. Hopefully it'll give me in a second. There we go. And oh, that's a shame. No, that's a shame. Anyway, that will give me 37. So yeah, we're over 100, which is good. Because the next stage actually takes in 100, if I remember correctly. So we need an oil and gas separator. And this is also going to produce a bunch of other stuff. It's going to produce crude oil. It's going to produce raw gas. And it's the gas that we actually want. This is why you could use the natural gas up there. With different byproducts. So it's going to produce crude oil, it's going to produce more of that sulfuric wastewater. It's a shame that these patches aren't anywhere near the rest of the sulfuric chain. So what we could do is just pipe it out of here and then process it all the way up the top. So that will let us put that waste back into the sulfuric waste chain. So let me just go and arrange some bits and pieces of stuff, and we'll come back once we've got somewhere to put all of this. Okay, so all the way up here near the near our setup for the clay, just above the lake, and I've got some power poles heading out here, and we've got a couple of oil and gas separators. The reason why we've only got a couple is just because the input. Yeah, it'll take 100 multi-phase oil every 2 seconds, and we're only getting 100 multi-phase oil-ish every 1 second, so 2 should be enough, or at least to start with. And we can then just connect that up. And it will then take that, it will convert it into crude, sulfuric waste, and raw, which is the stuff we want. So the sulfuric waste we want to put back through over here somewhere. And getting that actually through this maze of stuff is going to be interesting. Where's a good place to put multi-phase? Probably here-ish, or near the... in fact, no, I brought a pipeline out here, so we can input a pipeline here. We just need to get stuff to it. So let's just do something like this. And in fact, let me just turn you and make some more pipe. Where's the other pipe there? Okay, so and we just need some more straight pipe. There we go. So that's one of the products, and that will go into the pipe just before it gets to the valve, which decides, hey, you 80% or plus? If so, I will put you into a clarifier and get rid of you. So that should be that taken care of. We shouldn't have too many other problems once I hook up the connection, of course. So yeah, that's one byproduct gone. Second byproduct is going to be oil. And it's going to come from this side. So we can, I'm going to need to go and get some more stone bricks, aren't I? So let's just make some more pipes. The usual thing for the output of any kind of refinery like this, which is just to bring out the pipes 2 or 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. That's purely so you can connect in these like this without contaminating the lines. I end up contaminating the lines by mistake anyway, so let's not actually do that if we can. And then we can pump off crude oil. Let's see, what can we actually make with crude oil? Can we just convert that into more product, more plastics? Crude oil, we can void it, no good. We can convert that into base mineral oil, fuel oil, and naphtha. Seemingly that's, we can go to methane. Methane is one of the products we need, so we could add an extra line, but that's to be considered later. I think that maybe in another episode or something. We're just concerned with this raw gas. So we then need to go into a refinery. Do I have any refineries? I have one, so let's just have a look at you. So if I put the refinery there, and just as before, I mean, we can even just put the stuff like this and put some more pipe in. I really am running out of stone bricks. There we go. So we can then say, I want you to fraction into... Interesting. Can we go... Well, we need natural gas liquids, and we don't have that yet. We just have raw gas. So we're going to have to go for you. And that's going to produce acid gas, and it's going to produce natural gas liquids, which is what we need. So there's going to be another chain of refineries above this one. So I am going to actually have to go and get some more stuff now. Let me just bring some power up. Okay. But that's started, and we then need to feed off the acid gas somewhere. Can we use acid gas for anything else? Acid gas. We can void it, we can barrel it. We don't have green metal catalysts. No, so basically we can just void it or store it. So what I may do is just put it into a tank, which I don't have any of right now. And from the tank, we can just put a new one-way valve, the overflow valve, and then into a, where is it, overflow valve, and then into a flare stack. So if I just connect, say, 3 of these and use the last of my stone, I guess I can make steel pipe. Will that connect? What's the difference? Size is only half the size, but that shouldn't matter terribly. And let's just give that a go. I just want to see if that actually will be connectable. Looks like it can, although it's probably limited. In fact, let's just get rid of all the stone pipe then. There we go. Let's bring that out here, and then where is our overflow valve? Yeah. So we're going to want an overflow valve and a tank. Let's just grab the tank first. Where are you? I can never find them when I want them. Ah, I've got plenty of tanks already, actually. So let's just put you in. Give it a decent size storage. I'm not going to worry too much about this because we don't actually need it all that much. Oh, okay. I need another steel axe. Where did those tanks go? There we go. There we go. And lastly, we just need a pipe, a valve, wherever it is. And the flare stack, which should need power. Well, that's annoying. It's very annoying, in fact. Let's go this side. And go up. Okay, there we go. So once this fills up, that should be fine. And then the last pipeline is just going to go this way. And we've got natural gas liquids. Okay, so I've got some more pipe to ground. So we can just go underground to, say, here, just in case we need any more of these. And let's just put it in the last one to connect things up. And in this one, we're going to choose, this recipe, the methane, ethane, and butane, which will then start producing once we have power. So let's just make some of those. There we go. So we're going to need to deal with ethane and butane, which is the other part of this. On the other side of things, we're going to need to then feed that from a gas refiner into a steam cracker. And this will then take us to, we need methane. That'll convert us to methanol. So again, let's just do this and give ourselves enough room. So I'm going to take 3 here. That seems like a waste. In fact, I need steam into the other one anyway. And we have these, this, and this, so we can take these byproducts off this way. And we're probably going to tank and flare stack them as well. May as well to do that to start. So from this is going to produce methanol. And methanol we're going to take into another steam cracker. Let's just turn you around. Let's just see where the input is for this recipe. We're going to take methanol and steam. And that should produce propene, which is what we're interested in. But which one? Oh, that's okay. That's the right place. It's going to need steam to here and steam to here. And then we need to take this residual gas off. So from here, we're going to get propene gas, I think. And from there, we need to go into a chemical plant, which hopefully should then get us, liquid plastic. Do I have a chemical plant? Let's see if that will work. Technically, this one's faster. So I will just make a couple of those. And we'll see if that's everything we need. We do need to deal with all these byproducts, of course, and then we'll need to scale horizontally here to decide how many of each of these we can support with, what meager supply we have already. So where's that chemical plant gone? There it is. All right, so we want liquid plastic. All right, and that is pretty much it. From the liquid plastic, we can just go straight to plastic through an assembly machine. So we can just pick up an assembly machine and go for plastic. So we're going to need to move that across by 1. There we go. And then we finally, we can actually have a belt of plastic or something along those lines. So that's the complete chain. However, now I need to go and look and see if I can figure all the ratios out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're now dealing with some of the byproducts. So we've got crude oil. That's going to increase fairly fast. We've got this feeding off the acid gas and this. And we've got the ethane and the butane. They're both going into one-way valves, the overflow valves into a a flare stack. Okay, we're taking over gas refinery here. This is coming through just as we've done before. We're taking the residual gas off to the side, and I'm going to need another couple of tanks unless I have any around. I think I'm going to need a couple more. And another valve. And another flare stack, another cloud stack. That should do the job. This should then be supplying stuff already up here somewhere. Yes, it is. It's going into propane already. So we just need to connect that then with more pipe. Let me just actually switch over to stone pipe just because we've got it. And that will then get us all the way to plastic, I think. Now, we could look at some of this other byproducts and see what that allows us to build. Let's actually just make sure we're tanking this off on the side first. And then maybe that we got a one-way valve. Just so we're not storing huge amounts of it. And more power poles. And it's making pipe still. Okay, so I think we've got pretty much everything going. It's got to this stage now. So we've got the propane. I just need more of pipes. So let's just pop you in. And do I have any straight pipe? No, I'll recover this later then. Now we're just waiting for power poles now. And that should be that. At least it should be until I balance everything. So let's just bring up this power pole. There we go. The power pole all the way. And we should end up with plastic on this line. Yeah, we got plastic. Now, how far am I out of the base am I? Not too far. So I can bring that plastic in. So what are we going to use the plastic for? That's going to be heading for the science pack. So if we go to the science pack 3, we need batteries. So we need lead, plastic, and sulfuric acid. Now plastic we have, sulfuric acid we have right there. So this is kind of ideal for battery production kind of area. We just need lead. And we're not getting lead from this. This is nickel and silicon. Let's see. Where can we get lead from? Lead ore. There's going to be lots of ways of getting it. Well, we could change our mineral sludge system to produce lead instead of iron and copper. That's certainly possible. Might be the easiest thing to do, actually, just because that's relatively close by as well. Yeah. Why don't we do that? Let's... I'll just have to make many more of these flotation cells between the episodes. That's fine. So if we just cancel this for a second, so it's not going to be sending it to the rest of our system. Let's get rid of all view. Don't need any view, and we may want to feed it up that way a little bit. So maybe if we go underneath here, something along those lines maybe, and let's just actually, before we do that, tell this to change the recipe across to lead and tin. And then we're going to have to change this across as well to lead. Well, one of them to lead. Are they producing? It's got tin. Okay, so let's choose tin here as well. Tin ore. Nickel. Tin ore. There we go. So we are getting both lead and tin. That's interesting, actually. Let me just change this and then extend these. Like that. And that should just be easier rather than using anything else. So we can just go underneath. That's heading in the wrong direction. Helps if they go in the right direction, doesn't it? One. Ah, it's because it's one too far away. Never mind. Okay, so we got lead and tin. Let's bring them up here somewhere. Doesn't really much matter where. I may just have to warehouse the tin. It's the lead I'm actually interested in. There we go. So we're going to bring it up towards the sulfuric acid. Probably just below it, because then we can process up here that into the ore version. I don't have electric smelters yet, which will be really handy. In fact, no. We've got a much better idea. We've got coal right here. Let's take it here. Do something sensible. We're not going to get much lead out of this, are we? Out of this process. So we shouldn't need that many batteries. But if we do, we can always bulk this up. We can get actual lead out from one of the other ore patches. Is it rubyite? Yes, it is. So we could change that rubyite setup that's currently producing tin down there to producing lead. And that should sort us if we need more. Okay, let me put some furnaces down. Okay, so we've now got the plastics coming down and the lead plate arriving from, you know, our sludge setup down there. It's going to be brought into this chemical plant with these two, you know, inserters. The sulfuric acid is from our sulfuric acid pipeline, so we have enough to spare, plenty to spare, in fact. And then we can add as many of these chemical plants as we like. We haven't got that much lead plate at the moment, which we'll need to increase if we want a lot of batteries. That much is for certain. But I'm not sure how many batteries we're going to need yet. So as I was saying, we need batteries because we want to produce science pack 3s. So we've got that chain done, a complete plastic chain, and we're going to need that for other things too. And as I said last episode, engine units and bronze plates are not too terribly hard to make. So I think we can get certainly into the electronic circuit boards next episode. We can get transistors going, because they're the thing that needs plastic bar. We can already make tin copper wire, we've done that before. We're going to need silicon wafers, but they need to go just through regular assemblers, silicon plate, and then from there from molten silicon ingot. The same blast furnace setup we've already got. He does, however, need proper carbon instead of coal, I think. I don't think there's an option for coal. No, there isn't. We definitely need proper carbon, which is fine because we have lots of it. And we have silicon right there. So if I can find a carbon line, that's a coal line on purpose. It needs coal for those filters. So we need a carbon line probably over here from the rest of these blast furnaces. We can pull it this way and then produce those silicon wafers. Turn producing the plastics, the transistors with plastics, and from there we'll get up to circuit boards. So that's all coming probably next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. We got all the way through plastics, which is a big step, and all the way into batteries even. So we've got all in one episode in about 25 minutes or so. And then next episode we'll head on to the rest of the things we need for more advanced circuits, and hopefully maybe even get close enough to do blue science. Not quite sure yet, but that will open up a huge amount more research. We've not even got through the majority of the green science yet, and we're pushing blue science. The reason why I'm pushing blue science is just because of bots. We want to get to bots and have all of those. I've not been too excessive on the use of nanobots. I'd rather like get things sorted with belts and actually place the stuff myself rather than just go through blueprints. But once we get to proper bots, we'll be able to get past that point. So if you've got any ideas, if you've looked at this and seen any inaccuracies or things you want to correct, or, you know, you want to let me know of other solutions, feel free to let me know. As I said, I didn't go with algae for oil just because I didn't have aluminium silver yet. There could be other ways through. All I need to now look at is for our input over here, and I'll do this off camera, just what will keep everything flowing. Because we're not going to need much plastics right now, but we may need more once we get to those, so the circuit boards. So as you can see, it looks like this area at the moment is where there is a bit of a bottleneck. One of these two aren't actually getting enough either supply. It's this one, I think, starving it, or this one. It's not getting enough supply of methane, that much is for certain. Yeah, so I have to step back and then look at this one. And we step back again. So at some point here, you can see this one is actually filling up with raw gas. So if that's nearly right, and because this is constrained by our input, then we can't really go much faster than this one. So yeah, it may be as fast as we can go without producing a parallel line on that other gas, the what is it called? Natural gas combined yield. Natural gas even. Yeah, 383%. So I'll do that off camera because we're now in the dark again. I hate this. One commenter did say I should go with the night vision mod, but that, if I remember rightly, it has a green tint over everything. So let me know what you guys think. If you don't mind a green tint over everything, but everything obviously lit up, then I can, of course, build that. Is it actually a mod, or was it? I think it was rolled into Does it roll into the base game? Yeah, night vision. Which needs night vision equipment. There probably is a mod as well, but that needs electronic circuit boards. So sorry, we're going to have to go through that first. If you want the built-in night vision anyway. So that looks pretty good, and we'll see you next episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck building in Factorio.